So I'm usually a pretty big wuss when it comes to horror movies, but I know there's a lot of great films in this genre, so I'm trying to be brave and branch out and watch some of them. So today I'm going to watch the 1960 film Village of the Damned. I believe it's related to a book called The Midwich Cuckoos. I have read the book, but it was a very long time ago, and I don't really remember what happens, so I'm curious to see what this is going to be about. And I find with older movies, sometimes they have to use creative techniques if they want to show gore or anything like that. I love practical effects, so I'm curious to see if anything like that will be used, and especially given the time. But thank you so much for sharing in this first time watching with me. If you have any other suggestions for horror movies you think I should watch, please comment below. And I do have horror movie themed notebooks for sale. The link will be below as well. And if you want to have a say in what movies or TV shows I watch, be sure to join Patreon. And as always, please like, comment, and subscribe to this channel, and check back often for more awesome content. Yeah, for some reason I think the book was part of like our high school reading, so it's definitely been a while since I read it. I'll have to reread it after I watch this and see if there are any differences, or yeah, comment below what the differences between the book and the movie are.
Whitehall number. Thank you.
Is the author from the UK? And I believe the author also wrote several other sci-fi books.
It's...
that good of a book? Oh my! Bye! Guess you won't be getting that book. Oh, the pup. I hope nothing bad happens to the pup.
Operator, we've been cut off from Midwich 25. Would you get it again, please?
Right, the name of the town is Midwich, I believe.
Hello? Hello?
Oh my, everybody's passed out. Oh no! It's very spooky, and I'm never sure if it's going to be in black and white or color, so I don't mind watching black and white movies. Yeah, just like the most inconvenient things you could be doing and just passed out. I think those are like the most terrifying plots, where everybody is affected suddenly all at once. Like they don't see it coming, and then the next thing oh, she's gonna burn that thing down for sure. Yeah, comment below if you know where this was filmed. It kind of looks like the UK. I don't recognize any of the names so far. Yeah, based on the novel The Midwich Cuckoos. Okay. I don't recognize the director's name either.
We can't get through by phone either.
Classic, yeah, all the communications cut off, telephones aren't working, and it's 1959, and yeah, they don't have advanced technology that we have today. It's just landlines.
Here's your bus, Scobby.
Oh gosh. Yeah, I guess if you fall asleep driving a bus. What? There's some kind of like invisible barrier, like if you head into town you instantly fall asleep.
The captain now.
Yeah, and it's even affecting the animals? Okay. Oh, that would feel good. I lost his hat. They've drawn a line. Oh my gosh.
What's wrong with it?
I guess the gas masks don't help, yeah.
Any breeze would have blown it about a bit. The edges of the area are as well defined as that hedge there.
Yeah, it's almost like there's like an invisible dome over the town.
Like ice.
Oh god, no. Oh god, this plane's gonna crash. Yep, there he goes. Oh gosh, no, 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 no. Get out of there. That stoic British emotion. There's no crying in Midwich.
Not to drop below 5,000 feet.
Yes, sir. Midwich to base, Midwich to base.
Yeah, it'd be easy enough to control the roads, but how do you stop people from in the air?
Blimey, look!
Okay, everybody's starting to wake up now. And yeah, they seem to be okay. The guy who wakes up in his cereal is gonna be in for a surprise. Yeah, the flooding the house. Yeah, it doesn't look like anybody like passed away or injured themselves, so everybody just had a leisurely nap.
What did happen?
I don't know.
Yeah, that'd be so bizarre. You wake up and you're like, hey, what happened to the past, like, 4 hours? What's going on?
Oh, village. All of Midwich was cut off from the outside world for several hours.
Spooky. Yeah, it definitely seems more like spooky as opposed to just, like, a crazy slasher film or something like that. Which I like. I like this kind of, like, minimalist, you know, like, focusing more on story. I like more like psychological horror movies as opposed to just like slashers.
What the wife means is, well, you don't hardly expect to drop asleep before dinner, do you?
Oh, that mustache.
Need not have any immediate effect.
They think it was radiation?
Anything else today, Mrs. Zellaby?
No, that's all, thank you.
Is it something to do with the plants?
If you go on like this, yes, I do seem to be getting through.
HP sauce or brown sauce as it's known in the UK?
And you see what's happening? Exactly what you would expect if I made a 50% gun. Why did you kiss me like that?
Oh my.
Things afoot.
Something's afoot indeed.
Mrs. Plumpton at the shop has.
I've been too engrossed in my work. But we'll change all that.
She's pregnant, I'm guessing? Oh my, quite the smooches.
But you can count on me to do anything I can to help you and your child.
Do you think that
She's pregnant too? What?
When you want me to talk to about this,
I've never... It's impossible.
Oh my.
It's impossible.
Small town gossip? Yeah, I'm guessing doesn't have a partner.
side, Janet Pawle, whose husband only came back from sea yesterday.
Oh my gosh.
This is not a matter of belief, Vicar. It's a matter of fact. And there's something else.
How is that possible?
Date from that day 2 months ago when Midwich...
Yeah! Oh my gosh! Yeah, it's not only is everybody's pregnant and progressing along the exact same path. Like, everybody is 2 months pregnant. That would be, yeah, so bizarre if you wake up and suddenly you're pregnant and... Like that one girl said, she's like, that's not possible. Or if you're not, you know, you don't have a partner and you're like, how did this happen? They took x-rays of the pregnant ladies? Oh no.
It's a 7-month embryo after only...
What?
5 months.
Oh my gosh. What? Baby's growing faster than a human baby? Oh dear.
It's all right, darling. I've seen the x-rays, and it's a fine specimen. Dr. Willis says it's perfect.
This is gonna be like a Rosemary's Baby situation.
Does it tell me that? Where does it
Stop
come
it!
from?
Yeah, who's the father of these babies? Isn't that what happens in Umbrella Academy as well? Women just wake up pregnant, but give birth to people with superpowers. So are these babies gonna have superpowers?
All right, you can go in now. Got a cigarette?
Yes, of course.
Animals always know, man. If the animal's freaked out.
Worry. Now. Oh, God. Have you seen him?
Yeah, and all the babies are being born on the same night. Very suspicious. Oh, poor pup. He's like, there's something with this baby. Don't trust it.
Capabilities is that of 18 months.
Are they aliens or something? Oh gosh, they're advancing a lot quicker than normal. Oh my gosh. Oh god. Yeah, this baby's just staring at them. Oh my gosh. Just that like creepy unblinking stare. Oh.
There's something inside. It's a chocolate.
Always motivated by chocolate. Oh yeah, he's figuring it out. That kid definitely looks bigger than one. Oh yes, gotta get the treat.
Come along. It's time for your bath.
Yeah, he looks like he's like 3 or 4.
That's exactly my point. I didn't have to.
If you demonstrate something to one of them, they all know it.
What?
Now watch.
That's crazy. They're all connected somehow? And they're all blonde?
Get back to him at once.
Whoa, why are his eyes glowing? Oh my gosh. That's terrifying. Comment below. I hope they didn't put something horrible in these children's eyes to get that effect. I hope it was done somehow in post-production. What? Oh god. So creepy. Just like these white glowing eyes, especially in black and white. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I wonder if they were supposed to be a color. That would be a handy trick for your siblings for sure if they took away your toys. He's like, thank you. He just like mind controlled his brother? What? Yeah, and of course the contrast of wearing all black and being blonde. Yeah, and obviously there'd be other kids in the village.
Inside this moment, I've told you about playing with those children before.
Yeah, and they're kind of like outcasts now.
My Philip, you're always all together. It's his turn to study. Is it your home?
Yeah, because their brains are all connected. Oh man, that'd be so convenient. You stay here and study and we'll all learn and we'll go out and do fun stuff.
Someone else will come for our order. Goodbye, Mrs. Plumpton. Good afternoon, Miss Ogle.
And they talk like adults, like they definitely don't talk like kids.
David.
Anthea's son. I have no proof that he's mine.
Oh, well, he's not wrong, but still. Yeah, they're gonna try and teach these children morals. Did they do something?
It doesn't hurt. Please don't fuss.
It might turn septic.
They definitely don't seem to have a lot of emotions. Yeah, they seem very cold and like he doesn't hug his mom. He wasn't like upset when he hurt himself.
I'll inform you that Midwich is not the only colony of such children.
Oh.
We need time.
In our view, it's only a matter of time before these children get entirely out of hand.
Yeah, what happens when they're teenagers or adults?
What do you suggest? That they be shut away.
Oh.
Mr. Home Secretary, I can't agree to this.
But all I ask is a year. Now, surely that's not too much time.
Yeah, but a year for them is like 12 in the real world.
I will officially recommend no compromise.
Thank you, gentlemen.
And I think he believes that, yes, they have these powers, but they can be turned into good and, like, help advance society. Like, if they're this smart, you know, can they cure diseases? Can they, you know, answer our big problems? Like...
Now, the question I want to ask is this. Are you aware of life on another planet?
Yeah, are they aliens? They're thinking about it.
It'd be better if you didn't ask these questions. We want to learn from you.
Most, like, alien species want to learn from humans. Yes, okay, interesting. Yeah, there's nothing really childlike about them. They don't seem interested in playing or anything. Oh, gosh.
I'm very sorry. It was all my fault.
Oh, well, I think they're gonna make it your fault, sir. Oh, no, 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 no. Oh. Oh, God, the glowing eyes again. It's terrifying. What are they gonna make him do to himself? They're not the ones, you know, conducting these acts, but they're making other people do to themselves, basically. Yikes, they just killed that guy. Do not cross them. Is he smiling? Is that his version of a smile?
More aware of the situation than you think.
Oh, this is gonna end very badly. No, 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 no! Just something that makes like the hair stick up on your arms, just like, oh god, it's just so creepy. And yet they're not doing anything, they're just using their minds and their mind power, and they know what he was going to do, and to them I think that's bad enough of them actually doing it. And taking something that's usually like so innocent, like a little kid, and making them the villains. Yep, there you go. They got the glowing eye syndrome. Whoa! Oh gosh. Those so creepy, those close-ups. Yeah. And the power as a kid to be able to control your parents and any adult or any other kid basically that comes into contact with you and get them to do whatever you want. Like, oh my gosh. Yeah, and they obviously know. There hasn't been a ton of blood or gore in this. Most of the older movies I've seen, unless they're like extreme slashers, like most of the horror movies I've seen have been, anything's been off camera.
Minsk no longer exists.
These kids are the only ones left.
Soldiers proved disastrous to the troops and the adults.
I see.
So everybody's in danger. Yeah, they destroyed the whole town.
They want me in town.
As soon as they start thinking that, though, like, how do you hide your thoughts, right? Like, if the kids can read your mind, and yeah, so there's like a brick wall around them. Oh my gosh. Yeah, that's interesting that it was happening in other cities around the world as well.
Those that are with me, follow me!
All great decisions are made at the pub after a few pints, yeah. I think this is going to be a massacre. They're going to try and take out these kids. The soundtrack's been great too. They always say like kids and animals not to work with, but these kids have had, other than David, they've had so few lines and like their actions are to look expressionless and to stare. But still, the kids' performances have been well done. They set themselves on fire. Gonna burn them alive. Oh my gosh, that's so, I know that's what they were gonna do to them as well, but oh, just to stand there and be burning alive. Yeah, what are these kids gonna get up to when they're adults? Yeah, and now his eyes have like that white burn in.
What is the answer?
I don't know. But no more people must be hurt.
Yeah, what's the body count been so far? Like at least 3 or 4.
What's wrong about you?
If you didn't suffer from emotions, from feelings, you could be as powerful as we are.
Yes, they do get in the way of everything.
You'll arrange a method of getting us away from here without attracting attention.
Yeah, they're gonna send like one to each different country or something?
Yes. In the morning.
He's like, I hope that I make it till morning if these kids don't murder me. I feel bad for them because I feel like they wanted a kid and now they have to send David off. He's gonna blow up the schoolhouse. I'm curious how he's gonna get that done without them figuring it out first. Say goodbye to the pup. Oh no, he's not coming back. That would take such, like, you'd have to mentally be so tough and just be like, think of a wall, think of a wall, think of a wall, don't think of the briefcase. Like, you can't even say, like, don't think of this, because as soon as you think of it, it's going to be known to them.
You were to tell us tonight what arrangements you'd made for us.
Ever a stickler for the rules, this David?
A brick wall.
A brick wall. A brick wall.
Yeah, he's, like, sweating. He's like, oh, God, just please set this timer.
A brick wall. Brick wall.
Oh, that's a cool shot with them overlaying it.
Brick wall.
Oh no, go like 1 minute. Oh god, no, they're breaking through the brick wall.
Brick wall.
That's such a cool visual, yeah.
A brick wall.
Oh yeah, it looks like his face is crumbling. These eye close-ups, oh my gosh. It looks like a miniature. Comment below if you know how they did it. And fire in older movies always freaks me out because it's real. Oh, what is that? Their eyes through the darkness? Oh god, that's terrifying. What? They survived? What? What? Oh my gosh. So that was my first time watching the 1960 film Village of the Damned, based on the book The Midwich Cuckoos, which, like I said, I read, but I definitely didn't remember any of it, and it was very interesting, and I'm definitely curious to reread the book again and see what the differences between the book and the movie are. I really liked it, definitely minimalistic, and of course also in black and white, which I think just fed into that minimalism as there's no color, and the contrast between the children having very blonde hair and these black clothing made them definitely stand out in this tiny village. I'm not sure if there are sequels or remakes or anything like that. Comment below and let me know, and if you think I should react to them. I know the author did write a few other books, so I'm curious if those eventually got turned into movies as well, and I'm guessing he was a UK author, as this definitely took place in the UK. I thought the performances were great by both the adults and the kids. There's a saying in film, it's like never work with children or animals because they're difficult and you never know what's going to happen, because of the nature of these kids, where they were just, you know, blank stares, basically very emotionless, and then David had the majority of the dialogue. But I still thought they did a great job. They were super creepy. I'm definitely curious to learn how they did that like glowing eye effect. I'm hoping they didn't do something that harmed those children. I'm hoping it was done in post-production, again with it being 1960. It would have had to have been a practical effect. So yeah, comment below if you know how they did that. I think my favorite shot from the whole movie was the end scene where we have the professor's face with that low opacity over the brick wall, that he's like, if I can just focus on one thing, they won't be able to read my thoughts, so I'm just going to focus on this brick wall, and then having the brick wall crumble as the children are like reading his thoughts and slowly getting into his mind, and just it looked like his face was crumbling and he's sweating, he's just so tense, and he's trying his best, you know, to hold these thoughts, and he knows that this is going to be his last day. Basically, he's gone in on this mission to take out all these kids and himself. Although I feel like the kids survived. There was that creepy shot at the end where you just saw these very white glowing eyes coming out of the darkness of the fire and of the burnt out school buildings. No spoilers, but I'm very curious if there is a sequel or remake or anything, if the children survive. And just having them like these eyes, you know, dart so quickly towards the camera, I feel like that would have been terrifying to see in a theater. There wasn't a ton of blood or gore. I don't think there was any, other than when David like pricked his finger, but not uncommon for this time period. And any deaths that did happen were off camera. It's not like we had these, you know, crazy gory scenes, and especially with kids, I feel like that would have been tough and to watch also, and they definitely killed people. I feel like the body count was like 3 or 4. They mentioned somebody drowned in a pond, but we didn't see that. They just talked about it. So yeah, I feel like they wouldn't have stopped killing. I feel like they just would have kept going. They definitely didn't have any emotions, and even when David's talking to his dad and is like, you know what, like you could accomplish a lot too if you didn't have these feelings getting in the way, basically. And it was just such an interesting approach to have a kid, like something we associate with being like playful and joyous and, you know, happy, and they looked like little adults, basically. They looked like they were going to go, you know, run a Fortune 500 company or something, just like very stoic, and they're, you know, the way they dressed. And I know that was of the time as well, but it just added this even more like professionalism to them. They weren't wearing like some Nickelodeon t-shirt or something. Again, I know that's 1960, and I feel like the clothing of the time where younger children usually dressed more formally, or at least that's what we saw in this film. Like that just added to them, obviously, in their adult behavior, and not affectionate in any capacity. That little boy didn't hug his mom, didn't, you know, when he says goodbye, he's just like, goodbye father, goodbye dad, like very like, okay, on my way, like here I go. And taking that away from the kids just made them so creepy, and just the fact that they could control you with their mind, and basically anything they wanted they could get, because if somebody said something they didn't like, well, they would kill them, because they're like, we have to survive, like we have to protect ourselves. So they just saw everybody else who was getting in their way as opponents. It didn't bother them that that person was now dead. They didn't show any remorse. They were just kind of on this rampage to accomplish their goal. But if you left them alone, they left you alone. Even when they attacked that person, they just like, oh, we did it as a warning, like he'll be fine. So yeah, it was very interesting. And I think if you were a kid, that would be such an interesting power, although I didn't feel like these kids were using it to like get candy or, you know, to stay up an extra 20 minutes to watch TV. They're using it for like world domination, basically. And it was interesting to see David's dad be very hopeful and think, okay, like we can use these powers for good, like I can teach these children and, you know, we can learn so much from them and they can help solve our world problems, or they could, you know, develop the next technology or whatever, and we can become such an advanced society because we have these children at our disposal, and, you know, let's use their powers for good, not evil, basically. And then unfortunately everybody just turned on these kids. I wonder what would have happened if the townspeople would have embraced these kids instead of making them feel like outsiders and attacking them because they are different. And we even hear the professor saying that, like, oh, you're going to question things just because you don't understand it, like you're afraid of something just because it's different. And I feel like that's definitely what we saw with these children and how they were perceived in this small village. I feel like these kids, if they did survive, are going to go off and like one will run, you know, all 12 of them will run different countries across the world, and they'll just set up this whole network. And can you imagine, like, somebody's in Russia and they learn Russian, okay, now all of them know Russian. And then somebody's in Korea and they learn Korean, and now they all know, like, just the fact that they have this one mind and they could just, you know, learn so much at once. And I was wondering how far along the timeline the movie would go, if we would get to the kids being teenagers or adults, and they definitely seem to progress quickly. And we saw that when they were pregnant, and also when, you know, they're babies, but they can act like they're like 4 or 5. I feel like that's what happened in the TV show The Umbrella Academy, which is based on a comic book where these women just wake up and then suddenly they're pregnant and they give birth to kids with superpowers. Not in the same vein as this, but some similarities for sure. We didn't find out where the kids came from. They kind of alluded to maybe it was plants, maybe it was radiation. I'm not sure if the book explains it more, if it explains where these kids came from, but they definitely left that question unanswered. Maybe they were aliens, I'm not too sure. Plants were the cause of invasion of the body snatcher, and everybody's being taken into these pods. So yeah, I'm very curious what the actual culprit is. There definitely seemed to be something not from this world. I can't imagine just like a big power shift, obviously, from being the adult and usually the one who makes the decisions to having a kid who can read your mind and you're basically at their will. Then they're going to make you do what they want, basically. And the way that they weren't directly, you know, they weren't the one driving the car, but they told that man to drive his car with their minds, and just so creepy. And I think sometimes what we can't see is the scariest part. And they weren't, you know, running around carrying knives or anything. Like, they were using their brain and their mental power, and the fact that there's 12 of them, I believe they said. I don't know if there's more in the book, but just this group that, you know, seems to have more power the more they're together. And even when they try and say, okay, we're going to put you in one place, and they're fine with leaving their parents, they have no connection to their parents, and probably because they're not actually their parents. I do feel like the professor cared about David, even when he's even questioning, like, I don't even know if he's my own son. Obviously, DNA testing would have been very, very early on, if non-existent at all, so they couldn't really prove it. And just, yeah, who is the father of all these children? So definitely some questions there, but I still felt like the professor was conflicted when he's carrying this bomb into the school, you know, because it is his kid. Like, you know, he's raised this baby and, you know, cares about it. And the fact that he knows he's going to go in there and kill not only his own kid, but 11 other children. And just, oh my gosh, I feel like that was just such a pivotal point for his character. To me, it felt like he was like literally backed into a brick wall and had no other choice, because he's like, if I don't do something, they're gonna do something to me, or somebody else is gonna come in and wipe out the entire village like they talked about in Russia. He'd rather, you know, sacrifice himself and these children and hope that everybody else would be okay. And he sends, you know, his wife off and tells his friend to look after her. And oh my gosh, just my heart just sank at that moment. It was just such an interesting scene, because do you hope the kids make it and they somehow use their powers and their knowledge for good and make the world better? Are they strictly evil? Even when the professor's saying, he's like, I don't believe that people are born evil and their morals, like, that's up to the parents to teach them right from wrong, basically. So that's what he was trying to do, I feel like. And I think once they saw the kids take out that man who was going to shoot them, then he realized, like, I have to do something about this, basically. Like, I don't have a choice. The men weren't affected when they had that blackout, and obviously the women became pregnant, but it felt like they just needed a place to create these children, so they just picked random spots, or maybe there was a reasoning for picking them. I'm not too sure, but yeah, they picked, well, smaller towns, maybe that were isolated. Like, I don't know the population of the other towns they listed. They picked, like, Northern Australia and Russia and even Northern Canada and just these really remote places. I feel like that was intentional, and they were hoping there would be less interference, as if it was a big city, maybe they wouldn't have been able to even make it to the age that they did, and especially considering these kids were the only ones left out of all of these events. I felt the pacing was good. Sometimes with older movies, things can get dragged on for a while, but I thought they did a good job of keeping the story going and keeping the audience guessing as to what's happening, and especially with the kids' age progressing quickly and you're just like, what is happening? They definitely didn't answer all the questions, and maybe that was on purpose and left up to interpretation. I thought the story was super interesting, even if some things were left up to interpretation. Yeah, comment below if there are sequels, remakes, anything like that. I'm definitely curious to look up some things about the book now and see if there are any huge deviations. I don't know how this was received when it first came out, so comment below and let me know. But thank you so much for sharing in this first time watching with me. If you have any other suggestions for horror movies you think I should watch, please comment below. And as always, please like, comment, and subscribe to this channel, and check back often for more awesome content. There's some kind of like invisible barrier, like if you head into town, you instantly fall asleep. I guess the gas masks don't help. Yeah. She's pregnant too? What? They're all connected somehow? And they're all blonde? And they talk like adults? Like, they definitely don't talk like kids. Oh god, the glowing eyes again! As soon as they start thinking that though, like, how do you hide your thoughts?